Can you see me? I can't see anything. There we go. I couldn't see you. Hello. I couldn't figure out how to use the button that made my face show up, so here I am. Hi, everyone. So good to see you. As you know, as I said yesterday, this is my first Instagram live, so I might need a couple seconds to figure out how to do this. So hi, everyone sends little messages. I have seen an Instagram chat before. It's just, I've never done one myself. So, hello. So yeah, I want to start by saying that, I am thinking about all of you, everybody out there in the world. What a crazy, crazy time. I don't know about you, but, I have just been feeling so totally overwhelmed by all of this, on so many levels, worrying about the people in the countries that are hardest hit, worrying about the people in my own community who are already struggling with resources and making ends meet, who now are without work, people who are losing family members. There's so many levels to all of this. And I just want you to know that whatever you're feeling right now is 100% correct and right for you in this moment, and we're going to get through this. I can see some of you saying that you're feeling overwhelmed too. I don't know that I've had any particular strategy lately for how to deal with it. I will say that I have been exercising at home as much as I can, just to kind of keep my endorphins up, which can help with the depression and some of the pain that we're all feeling right now. And someone suggested today that maybe I do a little workout thing next week, so maybe I'll do that. I'll do another live one, and we'll do some at-home workout stuff. But for today, I thought let's ask some questions. Do you have any questions for me? Someone said they've been creative journaling. That's great. That's a really good idea. Journaling creative stuff, cutting off some of the news. Yes, that's a very good idea. I've had to take some major breaks from reading the news and from being on social media for sometimes days at a time, because it does become very overwhelming. Favorite shadow hunters moment. Okay, let's get to some questions. So my favorite shadow hunters moment. God, there are so many, but I'm going to pick off the top of my head that the moment walking Magnus down the aisle for me. Walking Magnus down the aisle was the most emotional moment for me. Probably my favorite moment of growth in terms of the sort of family relationships. That just killed me. That was amazing. So beautiful. Someone else said, you're watching Coroner. Thank you for watching Coroner. I love Coroner. That's one of my favorite parts I've ever played. For those of you not in Canada, you'll be able to see it soon. It'll start streaming in different countries, probably, I would imagine, early next year. I don't know yet, but I'll let you know when I find out. What kind of books do I like? Okay, so first of all, I'm obsessed with Harry Potter, which most of you know. I've said this in interviews before, obsessed with Harry Potter. And so I've been sharing the audiobooks with my son. My son is really young, so he can't read yet, but I've been sharing the audiobooks with him, just the first few books. And I listen to Harry Potter every night before I go to bed. I listen to the audiobooks, and it actually does really make me feel happy. And it helps me sleep. Do I miss Matt Daddario? Yes, I do miss Matt Daddario. I actually did a movie with Matt's sister, who, as everyone knows, is amazing. Alex and I did a movie together in the winter, and it was so funny because she actually talks like him sometimes. Like, we'd be talking and suddenly she would do something and I would go, oh my God, it's Matt. So that was nice. It made me miss him, but it was a really great experience, and she's as amazing as you would imagine. She's just like him. They're just lovely people. October Faction. I'm so glad you're watching October Faction. I love that show. That show I adored doing because for so many reasons. I loved the writing. I loved all the storylines. But the women in that show were amazing. Like powerful. There's not the stereotyping that you find in a lot of shows, at least the ones that I grew up with. And I found the female roles in October Faction to be so strong and so they're so at the forefront, right? And not just strong roles for women, but women of every age group, right? Like there's female leads on that show ranging in age from like 24 to 70. And I really want to see more of that. So I just love it. France loves you. I love France. I'm so excited to come back and see you guys when all this is done. Funny moment with Kat and M. Oh gosh. Well, we had some really funny moments when we were shooting the wedding for the finale, because we were all in these like really beautiful party dresses, and I can't wear heels. Heels kill me. Maris wore like huge heels. So I ended up being barefoot. There's actually some pictures where if you look in the background, you can see me holding my shoes in my hand. But Emerald, of course, is amazing in heels, and she just runs around and she's fine. And but we were all in these really fancy clothes. But in real life, most of us aren't very fancy people. So we had some really fun moments, just sort of being together, all dressed up. Hello from Colombia and Poland and Ecuador. Oh God, I love you guys. And I hope to come to all of your countries when all of this is done. I'm wishing you all safety. What's my Hogwarts house? Well, of course, I would have liked to have thought it was going to be Gryffindor, but I was not surprised to find out that every time I've done the test, I get Ravenclaw, which I'm actually cool with because Ravenclaw also makes sense to me. I actually had my whole family do the test recently. And a lot of us were Ravenclaws actually, which was cool. Lots of Hogwarts house questions. So Ravenclaw, that's what I get when I do the test, is Ravenclaw. But I do think I have a bit of a Hufflepuff heart, to some degree. Can't wait for New York ShadowCon. Yes, so excited about that. And I'm just really glad that everyone, these are unprecedented times. And so, of course, everything has to be postponed. But I will be there, and we will be together soon. Lots of Ravenclaws. How was working with Matt and Harry? Do I speak French? I'll get back to the Matt and Harry question. Je parle français un petit peu, mais ce n'est pas beau. I took French through my teens. You have to in Canada. I don't know if everyone knows this, but we have 2 official languages in Canada, French and English. So we take French up to a certain point. But I lost it somewhere along the way. But I try and work on it every now and then. And now my son's taking French, so I'm working on it with him. The movie with Alexandra. The movie with Alexandra is a movie called Die in a Gunfight. And it's fantastic. Look it up. It's going to be great. I'm so excited about it. We had a great time shooting it, and it's just amazing. So look it up. Die in a Gunfight. Fantastic movie. Do I speak German? I don't speak German. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I actually wish I spoke other languages. That's one of the things that I would really like to learn with this next phase of my life, is learn more languages. Matt and Harry was a question. Working with Matt and Harry was amazing. Matt and Harry are interesting. They're very different people. They're both equally nice, equally talented, equally cool, but quite different. And I feel like I had very different relationships with both of them. Harry and I are both parents. Harry and I are the same age. Matt's only a few years behind us, but Matt and I had, in a weird way, what I feel like is a very sibling-y sort of relationship, which is weird because I play his mom, but he's always trying to get me to learn things like how to do Excel spreadsheets, and I ask him when I want to know any fact in the world because he's an encyclopedia. And Harry and I had a lot of really great talks actually about things like diversity, and Harry and I have both had interesting journeys with diversity in our industry, and I think we're both very passionate about increasing diversity, and so we've had a lot of great conversations about that. I love working with both of them, and they're just beautiful. They really are beautiful, beautiful people. I love you too. Lots of Harry Potter fans. So hit me with your questions. Do we have any fans of other shows out there that I'm missing? Any Burden of Truth fans? Any, nurses. There's a question about nurses. What's my favorite thing about the Nurses cast? Hi, Sarah. My friend Sarah Bino. Follow her. She's amazing. My favorite thing with the Nurses cast. That's a good question. The Nurses cast is interesting in a lot of ways. what's my favorite thing? Everyone's really, you know what the great thing about that show is? It's an almost exclusively Canadian cast, if not exclusively Canadian. And I do find that as Canadians, we tend to have had a more similar journey career-wise in some ways. And there's a really nice feeling, you know, for example, most people think I'm American. Most people, when I go around the world, because a lot of my shows are American, they assume I'm American. And there's something about being on a show where everyone is from a similar place, similar culture, similar background that you don't find very often in TV. So that was really nice, being on a really truly Canadian content, Canadian show. A lot of us don't get to do that because, you know, we tend to work in other places and for other countries. I also just I love the drama of that show and the actors. Everyone's so lovely. They really are. Like, Nurses is one of those shows that everyone is just genuinely as lovely as they seem. That I like working on. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Derek from Winnipeg, from Burden of Truth. Derek's with us. So Melanie and Derek, Burden of Truth. Yes, I love doing Burden of Truth. Burden of Truth is an amazing show. It was where we did our 3rd season this past year, and it's actually on Netflix now, so you can all watch it. I'm great, Derek. How are you? Yeah, so Burden of Truth, check it out. It's on Netflix now. And I love that show. Kristen Krug, who of course everybody knows because she's the greatest, is a dear, dear friend. We became friends doing that show. And she's just such an incredible person, a powerhouse. That's another show with really strong, powerful female influences, incredible cast, diversity again, just over the top amazing on that show. Great representation across the board. Very, very proud to be a part of that show. And I also love the storylines. I love stories that combine like big, epic, drama, professional dramas or court dramas or crime dramas, but then they also combine that with these really strong family dramas, and that's definitely what Burden is. What film or show would you love to be a part of? Oh, well, after Harry Potter, my favorite TV series of all time, as I think I've said in interviews before, is Law and Order, the original Law and Order series. Now that's gone, but at some point in my career, I want to be on Law and Order, some kind of Law and Order. And if anyone can help me make that happen, put that out into the world for me, because I own the box set. For those of you who don't know what a box set is, it's the DVDs, 20 seasons of DVDs. I've seen every episode a million times. I love that show. So Law and Order would be some part of the Law and Order franchise is a dream for me for sure. E tu amo. There, I said it. I love how you give diversity such importance. Yes, so diversity is huge for me. You know, I sometimes feel a little bit sheepish talking about diversity because I'm mixed, and so I've had a much easier time in a lot of ways than some of my peers. But you know, early in my career in particular, I experienced a lot of discrimination because of my in some cases because it was people thought it was too ambiguous what my ethnicity was, or it was or you know, I always had to have an accent. I always had to play very stereotypical characters, and I've really found that has changed in the last 5 years for me, but we still have a long way to go. So I want to be part of that movement. I'm proud to be part of that movement, and it's something that is so important to me. Favorite country that I'd like to visit or have visited? Ooh, I love so many countries. I don't have a favorite country. I love them. I love so many countries so much. So I'll talk about a couple of my favorite experiences. I did the Inca Trail in Peru a bunch of years ago, hiking the mountains in Peru, and that was absolutely unbelievable. The Peruvian people are incredible, and it's just an incredibly beautiful country. I also I did the Camino de Santiago in Spain a bunch of years ago, and I mean, the countryside in Spain is unbelievable. But I loved Korea when we were there this summer. I love Italy. I love France. I love Spain. I love Argentina, Uruguay, Mexico. But there's so many places I haven't been, and I know I would love them too. So I'm just waiting to go. My favorite Disney princess. Hey, Ingersoll, Ontario. Hi, Ingersoll, Ontario. My favorite Disney princess. Oh, that's a tough one. I think, does Moana count as a Disney princess? Somebody tell me, does Moana count? Because I feel, Oh, did I not say England? Someone said poor Brits. I love England. I actually adore England, and I've been a bunch of times, and I will never stop going to England. I love England. But yes, if Moana counts as a Disney princess, and I pick Moana because I love how she just like gets on that boat and she just goes for it. And I love the way she just takes charge and at every step of the way. Yes, Moana counts. Excellent. So yeah, I love Moana. I think she's cool. I mean, there's a lot of great Disney princesses, but I feel like when I was a kid, the Disney movies that we watched, the women had a lot less agency, the female characters. Like they usually did something to help themselves, but a lot of the time the leads were male when I was a kid. That was true of animation and live action. So it's just so exciting to me to get to see these strong female leads in animated series for kids. I feel like it's going to mean so much to this generation of girls who are growing up knowing that they are as powerful as their male counterparts. I just gave someone an idea for a drawing. Excellent. Favorite Disney villain? Flotsam jetsam, now I got 'em boys. The boss is on a roll. You poor unfortunate souls. Definitely Ursula. Love her. She's the greatest. And that song, come on, she's great. Yes, I want to come to Colombia. Would I ever come to Serbia? Definitely. Serbia's on my list. I've always wanted to visit Serbia. Have I watched Glee? Okay, so I started out in high school in musical theater at an arts high school called Etobicoke School for the Arts, where a lot of actors actually that came out of Toronto went to that school. So I actually went to a school that was kind of like Glee, and I majored in musical theater for the first 2 years, and then perform theater, like acting, for the last 3. We had 5 years of high school when I was in high school. So I love musicals. But they were so hard. I just lost my train of thought. What was the question? Musicals. I can't remember. But anyway, point being, I love musicals and I love singing. But I actually found that singing was something that was very personal for me. So I stopped doing it professionally in my 20s. I totally lost my train of thought there. So if someone wants to get me back on track, go ahead. Do I play an instrument? Yes, I play guitar and I play a little bit of piano. I actually played piano quite well as a child, but then I stopped and switched to guitar. Oh, Glee was the question. Annie, hi, Annie. Excellent. Glee was the question. Thank you, Annie. You're always there for me. So going back to Glee, I play guitar. That's the answer to that question. Glee, I have been saving for years because I couldn't get it on the channels that I had when until recently. And then I've been sort of saving it, and I kind of want to save it to watch it with my kid because I think it would be really good for him when he's older. But I've definitely, like, especially when I was working with Harry, I've looked up scenes and I've seen some episodes, and but yeah, I've been saving Glee for probably for quarantine. So maybe I'll start now. Try to speak Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Nicola, mi esposo es uruguayo y habla español un poquito. Favorite singer? There's a Canadian singer named Sarah Slean. And if you don't know her, you should look her up. She blows my ever-loving mind. And probably overall, Sarah Slean's my favorite. After Sarah Slean, I would probably go with Adele. Oh, God, Adele. I mean, come on. She's unbelievable. I would love to visit Turkey. My parents went to Turkey recently and loved it. What's the next question here? Try to speak French. Oh, I did. I'll try again. Je m'appelle Nicolas. Je suis parlé français un petit peu. Il parle, how do you say Spanish in French? Is it espagnol? Anyway, je parle français un petit peu. Favorite villain from Shadowhunters? I don't know. I think I gotta go with my girl Anna Hopkins, man. Although Alan's up to, there's just too many good people in Shadowhunters. It's really hard to, it's really hard to make a decision. A Harry Potter moment you wished was in the movies. Oh my God, a million. That's the problem I have with the movies. I love the movies, but because I've read the books so many times and because I listen to the audiobooks every night to help me fall asleep, I'm so attached to all like the minutia, all the little parts in Harry Potter. So I miss all the little details. Like we just watched Harry Potter 4 with my son, and the fact that Winky's not in it made me so sad. I love Winky. More Winky and more Dobby all the time for me. Favorite thing about being an actress? I think probably that it's always changing. But it also depends on the job. Like the thing with Shadowhunters that was so amazing was that I'd never been on a show with a fandom like the fandom that we have on Shadowhunters. So that was a new experience for me, being able to connect with fans. I've never been able to connect with fans before. So that's a new amazing thing that I love about it. But then there's shows like, Nurses that mean a lot to me because they're in my hometown and I get to meet new people, and I get to sometimes like on both Burden of Truth and Nurses and Shadowhunters too, actually. I got to work with people that I went to school with, like Vanessa Mitsui and I went to, I'm sorry, Vanessa, if I said your last name wrong. I should know this after 20 years. But she and I went to college together. So it's really cool to get to work with different people all the time. Mostly, I would say probably the friends that you make. I'm also very lucky that I get to play a lot of different characters, and that's really fun and creatively exciting. Favorite Italian food. My favorite food of all time is pasta. Everyone makes fun of me because when they say, what's your favorite food? I say pasta with cheese. And they're like, that's not like a dish. But to me, it's a dish. Pasta with butter and cheese and salt. Done. Desert island. That's what I'm taking. How was working with Alex Daddario? She's amazing. She's just like Matt. She's so totally down to earth. It's funny with people like Alex and Matt because you meet them and they're so gorgeous and they're so talented and they're so famous and smart, but then they're also just the nicest people in the world, and real gratitude. Like I think the thing I appreciate most, and if you're lucky enough to be paid to be an actor, especially at any higher level, I mean, I think the gratitude is so key, and you meet people like Alex and Matt and their gratitude is so high and they're such like lovely, normal, giving people, and I just think that's amazing. So she was a doll. She was great. Loved working with her. We have a really nice scene together that I'm really excited to see. Daddario siblings are the best. I agree. What have I been doing for workouts at home? Good question. So let's talk about that for a minute. And I will do, you know what I'll do, guys, if everyone is interested, I will do another one of these soon. And I'll do a little workout one and we can do some stuff together. So what I've been doing is a couple of things. First of all, you can go online and you can look up body weight exercise, because that way there's people online who are showing or listing exercises that don't require equipment, right? So look up body weight exercises online. And then what I've been doing is a lot of walking, but only if you can stay away from other people. Like I've been staying in a very remote area, in a rural area where there's no one else around. Just because that's where I was when the quarantine started. So I've been able to go outside and be alone. If you can't be alone, then you shouldn't go outside right now. Please stay inside so we can get through this. But if you have that opportunity, and you're in a more rural area or you can stay away from people, then get some fresh air. Otherwise, in your home, there's lots of body weight things you can do. There's different stretching, there's push-ups, there's sit-ups, you can actually look up cardio, no equipment online, and it'll come up with some great exercises you can do. Also with stuff around the house. There's some great stuff you can use from your house, like, jugs of milk, or you can fill water bottles. But let's talk more about that next week. Am I with my family? I am with my family. Yeah, we got incredibly lucky that I was actually with my family when I was away with my family when the directive came down to stay inside. So I'm very lucky that way. And to all of you who are alone right now, I want you to remember that you're not alone. There are people who care about you. This is temporary. I can't imagine how hard it is to be alone right now, but you will get through this, and reach out whenever you need to everyone in your network. This is a time to ask for what you need, and you will be okay, and we're going to get through this. Okay. Favorite memory at a convention. Oh God, there's so many at the conventions. Singing with Dom was one. Though, anytime we're all together, like those last moments where we all get to say something at the end when all of us are together, I think those are my favorite. because it's very special to all be together with you guys all in one room, all of, my friends and I together, and you right there in front of us. So that's probably my favorite part of every convention, is that last moment where we're all together. Favorite subject in Shadowhunters. I think my favorite subject in Shadowhunters is the idea that we have to stop segregating people. That's my favorite subject in life in general, I think. But Shadowhunters is really good at doing that. Like, stop separating Downworlders and Shadowhunters, the same way we need to stop segregating and separating races in our country and seeing people as being so different. We need to start, my favorite place in Guyana, remind me to answer that. We need to not separate people. We need to start looking at how we can come together instead of creating more borders. No more borders. Less of that. I mean, we have to, of course, there's certain elements of being distinct countries that we have to be aware of, but the concept of borders is a metaphor. We need to take those down, and we need to be looking at making people more aware of each other and more interested in each other so we can care for each other better. My favorite place in Guyana is Kaieteur Falls. It's one of the most beautiful waterfalls in the entire world. Guyana is where my mom's family's from. And I was there a few years ago. I actually did some work at the orphanage in Georgetown there, and they're the most amazing kids I've ever met in my entire life. It was one of the greatest experiences of my whole life. My mom and I took a bush plane with some people to Kaieteur Falls, and it's just stunning. It's unbelievably beautiful. And I got in the water there, and I felt like, some people don't believe in this, but it just has a very healing feeling in waters like that, and I just loved it. Yeah. Favorite animal. It's funny. I'm allergic to a lot of animals, so I haven't actually. I mean, I work with animals all the time, and I just take antihistamines. But I never had animals in the house, like pets. So most of the animals that I have had exposure to are animals I've worked with, or animals in sort of a farm context. So my favorite animal is probably a horse. I love horses. I love riding horses. I think horses. I've also worked with horses a lot, and they are so responsive to people. I just love them. I love them so much. I know, it's crazy that Shadowhunter, that the New York convention was next week and we're not going to be there. But I really believe that if we can all stay inside and, follow all the advice that we're getting to stay home and quarantine and get through this, then we'll all be able to see each other in the fall when everything is rescheduled. And I will be there, and we will hug, and we will say, thank God this time was over. It'll be a memory, and it'll be a better time. What's my favorite ship in Shadowhunters? Sorry, call me biased. It's got to be Malik, because those obstacles that they encountered and surpassed amaze me. Yes, Annie. Someone's saying Annie Hansen is so great. She makes me cry. I totally agree. Annie's an incredible, incredible person and a strong, strong woman. Love to you guys. 3 words to describe Maris. Ooh. Mother, changeable, and she's free now. Mother, changeable, and free. And it's interesting with Maris because those words have changed every season when people have asked me that. But I think that's where we left off. Mother, changeable, and free. If you can play a different character on Shadowhunters, who would it be? Probably Valentine. I think I've said that before, but I like playing evil characters. They're really fun. And so probably one of the bad guys. I had been to Ireland. I actually went with my mom one year. We were going to a wedding in Scotland, and we were like, oh, let's just pop down to Ireland. And we got a hotel, and we ended up there on St. Patrick's Day, just by coincidence. And it was amazing, and the parade was unbelievable. And yeah, it was great. How do you keep your skin so healthy? It's so funny, like as an actress, people are always talking about how you look, and you're always worrying about it. And as I've been very open with, I've had a lot of struggles with eating disorders and body dysmorphia when I was younger that I still grapple with. And so it's funny, like when I was going to do this live chat, I was like, oh, I should get up early, and I should put on makeup. And then I thought, no, like that's not what this is about. I think the pressure for women in general, and for men to some degree too, but definitely for women, the pressure to always be kind of changing ourselves to be better is false, right? We need to find a way to love ourselves the way we are. And so I'm here filter free, sans makeup, and I'm gonna try and keep doing that because we need to really be able to look in the mirror and like what we see before we change anything about ourselves. I think that's a real kind of freedom that a lot of us haven't had a lot of. So do I watch Arrow? I haven't watched Arrow yet. There's certain shows that we can't get in Canada. It's similar to you guys, like how you can't get Burden of Truth and Coroner until later. We can't get certain shows here until later. So Arrow is one of the ones I'm saving, but of course I'm going to watch it because my baby girl is on it. And I'd watch it anyway. There's so many great people on that show. Favorite Disney villain? Yes, I said Ursula. Any idea from mom to mom how to get through this when you have to work and stay home with kids? Oh my God, yes. How hard. So first of all, mamas, power, unite. I'm with you. I am actually totally out of work right now because the show that I was supposed to be starting has been postponed. So I'm actually in a lucky position where I am home with my family and I'm not working. Now, of course, that's not lucky from a financial perspective, but it's lucky because I don't know how you mamas are doing it, honestly, with your kids at home and trying to work. All I can say from my heart and what I believe to be true is that for all you parents out there right now, and this really applies to everyone, but particularly for parents, like, just do what you need to do right now. If you need to let your kid watch Netflix for 8 hours so that you can stay sane, you do that. If you're alone at home and you're getting really depressed and you need to just eat chips and play video games, then you do that. I think that judging anyone right now, this is an unprecedented international pandemic. Like, there are no rules for this. There's no right way to do this. Some parents I know are scheduling hour by hour like a school day. Some parents I know are just like, forget it, let's just stay in bed. And whatever works for your family is right. And I think that applies to individuals too. And the number one thing is, as long as you're taking care of yourself and you're making sure that you're staying mentally and physically as healthy as you can, then you're doing the right thing. And that's all you can do right now. Okay. So you do you. Do not feel guilty about what you're doing. And if you're at home with kids and you're feeling super stressed out, especially to all the single parents out there, I cannot imagine how you're getting through this. So you just do what you need to do. And if you need to plop your kid in front of the TV or a game, or you need to let them like run wild and lock yourself in your bedroom, then you do that. You do what you have to do. As long as everyone is safe and healthy, you do you. This is not a time for judgment. Okay. Is Nurses coming back for season 2? Nurses is coming back for season 2. I don't know yet if I'm on it, but it is coming back for season 2. And I wish them all the best of luck because they're an amazing group. I met you a year and a half ago. Oh, so many people I met last year. I have to say that, all the encounters I had with you guys, I'm so glad that we had that full convention season last summer, that I had that time with you guys, because I've been I've been living off that a lot. And I've been going back to all the beautiful fan books and photos and letters that you sent me. And it's really helping get me through. So thank you so much. There's so many. Hi, everyone. I am staying safe, and I hope that you're all staying safe. Is October Faction coming back for season 2? Let me get back to that in a second. Someone's saying they're working in retail, and they're the only one wearing gloves, and people are judging you. Honey, no. No judgment. You wear a mask. You wear gloves. You do whatever you need to do. You keep yourself safe. People who aren't taking this seriously are the reason that this is going to take longer and that more people are going to die. This is a time, my husband said a great thing recently, and I'm sure other people have said it, but he was the first one to say it to me. He said, this is the time to overreact. Okay? This is the time for that. Let's all overreact a bit, and let's be extra cautious, and let's be extra paranoid, and then we'll get out of this faster, and then later we can look back and go, oh, we overreacted, but now is the time to do that. It is better for us to do everything we can and look back and be proud of ourselves for that. Okay? We're never going to regret being overcautious in this time. October Faction, season 2. I don't know. But I will let you know when I find out. I really hope so, because I love that show and the response has been so positive. And so I really, really hope that, that it does come back. Some of the similarities between me and Maris. we're both mothers. We both are constantly trying to find ways to grow as people while making space for the other people in our life. I think that's, anyone in a family dynamic, anyone in relationship to other people is constantly grappling with that. And I think we're both really trying to be the best person that we can. What am I doing during the pandemic? What kind of stuff am I doing? So one of the things I'm trying to do is, first of all, on a spiritual and personal and emotional level, one of the things that I'm trying really hard to do is to remind myself of all the ways that I'm very lucky, right? Now, that's not everyone's situation. I am very lucky in this situation, and there are people who can't do that with themselves, who can't ask, because things are unbelievably brutal for a lot of people out there right now. People with no income, people who don't know how they're going to pay their rent, people who are sick, people who have loved ones dying, people who don't have the privilege that I have to be in a safe living space right now with enough money to feed my family. Not everyone has the privilege to do that, but when I can, I've been reminding myself of why I'm lucky. I'm with family. I am able to put food on the table in this time. I have a lot of friends who've reached out and who I'm reconnecting with. But regardless of your situation, a couple of things I've been trying to do is, first of all, like reaching out to as many people as possible. Call friends who I've spoken to friends. I had a little like Zoom chat thing. This is how I do the Zoom chat. That's the boxes that they're in. My mime's great. I had a Zoom chat with high school friends that we haven't all been together in 10 years, and suddenly we did. I'm talking to friends I haven't talked to in a long time. I'm spending the kind of time with my family that I don't usually have because I'm very busy. I'm going to do stuff like I'm not in my own home because of where I was when the isolation started. But when I'm trying to do stuff like, let's get my taxes done and stay positive that this will end soon. Let's go back and do the writing that I've been wanting to do, the work that I actually don't write. And that was a lie. I don't know why I said that. What I was actually picturing myself doing was like filing, like going through old scripts and rereading things. And I want to read scripts. I want to read books. I want to do all the things that I can't normally do. But I'm also a parent, and a lot of time goes into figuring out how to make my son happy and how to make him okay. And if that's all I can do in a day, then that's enough. I also want to just say to everyone who's really, really struggling right now, that I just want to send you my love. I don't know what I wish I could do more, but for people who are alone right now, people who are separated from family, people who are losing people who are in abusive situations. If you're in an abusive home right now, I can't stop thinking about kids. I can't stop thinking about kids who live in abusive households, who are stuck at home right now, people who are in difficult environments and don't have any relief from that right now. It's this unbelievably terrible time, and I just want you all to stay strong and believe with me and know with me that this will pass, and that we're all with you. We're sending you all of our love and our spirit, and I'm sending you all my love and energy to heal in this time. Oh, Annie and Natty are separated. I don't know if you guys, for anyone who knows Annie and Natty, they're separated right now. I'm so sorry to hear that, ladies, but you will be together again, and we love you all. Where is Alexander Gideon Lightwood? I don't know where Alexander is right now. We will get through this together. And so the other thing that we can do is I'm gonna try and post a bit more the next little while. So I'm gonna try and do one of these a week. If you guys are interested, then let me know. Let me know and I can do one of these a week while this is going on. And I will just pick a day, maybe pick same time every week. The internet isn't great where I am, so I have to pick certain times, certain days, and certain times when I can get to a better cell area. But I'll try and do one of these a week. If there's any particular questions that you have that you want me to address, like maybe what I'll try and do next week is I'll put a call out and get everyone to send me their questions in advance, and I can have some prepared answers. If you want me to do some workout stuff, like let me know what you would like. I could also just do some videos to post. I just, we'll keep doing stuff. We'll keep figuring it out together. Send me your, I have my private messages, turned off on all my social media. Just for me, I think I've said this in interviews before, but, for me on an emotional level, I don't use DMs, just because I find that, that's something that I need. There's so much, in social media to focus on and to look at. So DMs are something that I don't use, but you can tweet at me, you can comment on the Instagram posts, and I will get some questions, some popular questions together to answer next week. Is someone saying they want an easy workout with Mama Lightwood? We could totally do that. Someone's saying I'm smashing at a technology. Thank you, Julianne. I'm doing my best. I'm going to have to sign off in 5 minutes, so let's look at what the next question is. Favorite season of Shadowhunters? They're so different. Probably season 3, only because the arc was so crazy in season 3. And my role was bigger, so I had more to do, and she changed so much. So probably season 3, being de-ruined was huge. I mean, that was crazy. So that was great. And in terms of stuff like exercise, and it's a great idea to get some exercise at home. I highly recommend just type it. If you have weights at home, great. Look up the internet. I have to say one thing that I'm really grateful for in this time is the internet, because we have access to people and to resources. And so definitely look on there, and then we can talk more about that next week. If my life was a movie, which title would it have? Probably something like Nicola Correia-Damude, The Never-Ending Story. I feel like the last few years I'm realizing that, like many people, I'm always changing all the time and realizing new things. And I'm also really big on therapy. I do a lot of therapy, and to try and better myself and become the person that I really want to be. And so I just feel like it's always changing, and I think we all have to remember that we always have the ability to change, and the world always has the ability to change. And we need to remember that, because what we're going through now can change for the better. We have that ability as an international community as well as individuals. Any other questions before I go? Yes. Can I say bi rights? Absolutely. Bi rights, everyone's rights, LGBTQ, and the international community of human beings. Let's continue to work towards making sure that there is no one in this world who's discriminated against for who they are and the person that they were born as in this world. That I cannot imagine anything more ridiculous than the way we discriminate against people for being who they are. It seems so simple, but for so many people it's not. And we're just going to keep fighting, friends. We're going to keep doing it. Okay. I also just want to say that in the hardest moments of all of this, I just want us to remember that this will pass, and that when this passes, I hope we can remember how difficult this was. I want us to move on, but I also want us to remember how difficult this was. I want us to remember what loneliness and disconnection really feels like, because when we encounter the kind of cruelty in the world that we do with discrimination and homophobia and misogyny and sexism and any time that we are discriminating against or abusing other people, we are taking that love and support out of the world. And we're now in this time when everyone's in pain and everyone's scared. And the one opportunity that we have here is to come out of this as more empathetic people, to come out of this as people who love each other more and understand each other more. This is our opportunity right now. Our opportunity to do that is now. And that can be the good thing that comes out of this, okay? I miss you too, Sarah. I miss you all, and we're all in this together, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. And I want us to come out of this better and stronger. And I'm sending all of you all my love. I'm going to sign off now. But I love you. Send me your questions. Send me your thoughts. Tweet at me any questions that you would like me to answer next week. Any other things you'd like me to do. I absolutely agree. Someone just said, oh, it's Annie. Hi, Annie. She says, we have to believe. And it's true. You have to believe. That's what we have right now. We have hope and belief. And that hope is what we have to hold on to. And we also have to hold on to each other, whether we know each other or not, because this is a global community now. We're all going through this together. So anyone who tries to say that we are all separate or we are all different, or well, now we're all united. And unfortunately, it took something like this to make a lot of people realize that. So let's remember that when this is done, because we do have each other as a global community. And I love you all. And I will see you next week. Bye. Now I don't know how to turn it off. Help me. Oh, look, it says end in the corner. I love you guys. Bye. Stay safe. Stay inside. Love you.